What's up, everybody? It's the France, and we're here for a Monday Night Raw review for November the 14th, 2022, on the road to Survivor Series War Games, where tonight we have almost the entire Women's Survivor Series match completed, and another match added to Survivor Series with another one that has been teased as well. Plus, Seth Rollins puts his U.S. Championship on the line in the main event against Finn Balor. And what is the fallout from Austin Theory's Money in the Bank cash-in from last week? And then so much, not much more, but yeah. So we started off with Seth Rollins in the ring. I thought this is what we're going to get the title match. No, that is your main event. He introduces himself and he says he is still the United States champion by hair on his chin. Last week was crazy, and he says contenders are coming out of the woodwork. Then addresses Austin Theory's failed Money in the Bank cash-in. He says it didn't work out for him like it had as he had planned, and says something seemed different about his title run. He says it is the top prize on Monday nights and says he will add to his legacy when he takes on Finn Balor later tonight. Lashley comes out and he heads to the ring with a mic in hand, says he turned little selfie boy into a punchline last week, and says his beatings will continue until he gets what he wants, and that is his United States Championship back. Rollins says he had his chance last week, but he decided it'd be better to take his soul from his body instead of having the actual match. He says his loss to Brock Lesnar, Crown Jewel, has been affecting him as of late. By the way, what the fuck happened in Bobby Lashley's left pectoral? Because he literally looked like someone took a knife to his pec, ripped it open, and then it healed up, and they had to put something over, because you could clearly see this big gash and then stuff over top of it. It looked weird. Out comes Mustafa Ali. He has a ref is trying to get him to go back, and you can hear him say that you took away my opportunity last week, and I'm here to make things right. Lashley says that the beatdown he suffered last week will pale in comparison to the one he does tonight, and tells him to walk before he regrets it. He goes to talk some more to Seth Rollins. Ali comes in and Lashley just tosses him out of the ring. Ali then jumps from behind and fires some forearms. Lashley tosses him out of the ring again and tells him, if you want, you're pissing me off. If you want to get in the ring right now and get beat down, then by all means, I welcome it, but you're going to fucking regret it. So that led us to Bobby Lashley versus Mustafa Ali. Clearly Seth Rollins is a babyface. Plain and simple. It's clear as day that Seth Rollins is 1000% a babyface. What does this mean for when it comes to later this year, next year, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania time? Will it be, when Cody Rhodes does come back, will it be Seth Rollins and Cody again? What's going to happen with what? So we get Bobby Lashley versus Mustafa Ali. This was Bobby Lashley just beats the shit out of him. You get a little bit of Ali getting some stuff, back elbow, and goes for a DDT and everything. Lashley charges in, hits a spear, puts in the hurt lock, and Ali fades. That was pretty much it. I don't know what they're doing with Mustafa Ali. Am I supposed to give a shit about Mustafa Ali? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't. And why should I? I really would like to know. Why should I care about Mustafa Ali? The guy coming out here with boxing shorts on, his hair's braided two ways, with two tails. I don't care. The dude is not doing it for me. I mean, he's great in the ring. They're not giving him enough time to go out there and do anything, and he's just going out there and looking like a loser. Backstage to the OC and Kathy Kelly. Kelly asks if they're worried about the retaliation for the Judgment Day, and AJ tells them to bring it. Luke Gallows asks for a little recognition for bringing in Yim before Styles says the problem between them and Judgment Day needs to come to an end. He challenges Balor to a match at Survivor Series. Yim tells them to keep the bitch cool while she takes care of business in the first match back in the company. So there was that. So we have Mia Yim versus Tamina. As she's in the ring, Rhea Ripley and Dominic come down and slowly walk to the ring to watch this match. The match lasted maybe 2 minutes. Rhea ate the feet by Mia Yim. 1, 2, 3. And she picks up a win against Tamina. Who cares? After the match, she looks at Rhea Ripley and she's just like, come on, bring it on. Let's do this. Come on. Rhea Ripley looks like she's about to get in the ring, and then she just has a good old laugh, and it's like, no, I got you, I'm inside your head, so no. Oh my God, can we get rid of these fucking bongos? How is it that Matt Riddle was one of the hottest acts in the company, and now you got him lowering himself to play with a bunch of fucking bongos? Isn't Matt Riddle one of the most over guys a month ago? And after his feud with Seth Rollins gets the United States Championship, and which Matt Riddle won their last match. Seth Rollins gets the United States Championship, and Matt Riddle gets bongos. Man, oh man, what the fuck? And Riddle says he's doing big rockstar things and says he's finally agreed to be in the band with him. Elias has. Alpha Academy walks in and Gable says the only thing more ridiculous than their band is the idea of them as a tag team. Gable says he will do to what Otis did to Elias last week. Riddle calls them lamos. Oh my god. Is Bruce Pritchard writing for this guy? Is Vince McMahon secretly getting things to Bruce Pritchard to write for Matt Riddle? What happened to Matt Riddle? Why is he doing all this boring ass shit? I'm just done. Where's the serious Matt Riddle who was out there fighting to, getting into it with Seth Rollins? Now he's out here wanting to team up with Elias of all fucking people and playing with bongos. Get the fuck out. Time for break. Damage Control approaches Yin. They say they know what it feels like to be forgotten and tossed aside like she was, and they invite her to team on War Games. He says, thanks for the offer, but I don't have any problem with Belair, Bliss, and Asuka. Guy tells her not to take too long to think about it, and that was that, so we'll have an answer for that later. Matt Riddle versus Chad Gable. This match was okay, but Gable manages to pull a backslide with his feet on the rope, held in place by Otis. 1, 2, 3. Chad Gable wins. It's whatever. So, yeah. I don't know what they're doing with Matt Riddle, but he seems to be drawn. It seems like he hit his peak in the Triple H era with the fight pit against Seth Rollins, because he has fallen so far down the roster since that match. And he won the fight pit, and yet Seth Rollins is the U.S. champion, and this guy's playing with bongos. Wow. We have backstage JBL Corbin playing a poker game with somebody and wins a hand to gather the poker chips. A waiter offers them Kentucky whiskey, but JBL sends him away. He said he picked out some expensive prime whiskey for them. Akira Tozawa sits down at the table and says he wants to play. He puts sunglasses on for JBL to ask, has he played poker before? No. Do you even know the rules? No. And JBL's like, your money's good here. I mean, so stupid. Who? Okay. You see this happen, you see a guy come in who apparently doesn't know how to play poker and doesn't even know the rules. And obviously it's supposed to be for comedy. We're going to come back a while later, and Akira Tozawa is going to have almost all the money on the table on his side, and he cleaned the other two out. I mean, this was fucking stupid. This is dumb WWE shit right here. This is what you got. This is the best. You have JBL come back to be Baron Corbin's manager, and this is the best you got? Some comedy garbage that doesn't work in 2022? Like, when we came back to that later, if anybody fucking laughed like, ha ha ha, look, the Asian guy who doesn't know how to play, has come out here and cleaned these guys. I mean, come on. It was real obvious that was where it was going to go, and it's not even funny. Speaking of not funny, here comes The Miz, dressed in a cardigan, trying to look like Mr. Rogers, has glasses on as he is here to offer his side of the story, and relinquishing his host of Miz TV to Saxton. Saxton thanks The Miz for joining him and asks if he's sorry for paying off Dexter Lumis. Miz says he has prepared a statement and says he regrets paying Dexter Lumis. He says all he wanted was empathy and says he's never been called a day off in his 18 years in WWE. Even if he was injured, which has very rarely happened, he's been here and he's never gotten a single cheer or a pat on the back. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Weren't you getting cheered back when, you had the whole tag team thing with Shane McMahon? Or all the other times they tried to make you babyface? You were getting some cheers. Never been cheered in your WWE career? I'm sure if somebody actually wanted to put the effort in, they could find a couple times where Miz was cheered. Oh, how about at Raw 25 when you took the Intercontinental Championship off of Roman Reigns at the time when everybody hated Roman Reigns? You hit the Skull Crushing finale, won that championship, and were the hero of the day, beating the big dog that nobody wanted. You even went to Raw 25 over in the Manhattan Center, and you went to put your hand up, and everybody quiet down because everybody was happy that you beat Roman Reigns. So to sit there and say you've never had a cheer before is absolutely ridiculous. He never got any cheer panels back. He says Loomis just kept taking from him and he had to put a stop to Loomis's greediness. Saxon asks, why did he told the investigator from last week? And Miz says he told her what she wanted to hear. He says he's a devoted father, a loving husband, a man cooped up in his bedroom because he has been depressed about what happened. And he starts fake crying and he's like trying to sound all sympathetic. Again, his music hits and he heads to the ring. He says Miz was on vacation with his family in Cabo based on the pictures his wife posted on Instagram. Even though he wasn't in any of them, I can only assume. And then Miz is like, I was depressed in my hotel room in Cabo. Dude, seriously. You're in a hotel room in Cabo. Don't fucking think that you're going to get past the you're depressed line. Come on. No one cares because he always takes the easy way out. Gargano says he caught up in this lie and stopped paying him off and asked if he's paying Saxon for Miz questions why Gargano got involved. He accuses him of doing it for attention, but Gargano says everyone knows he's a compulsive liar. He says he's lying to himself, but he thinks he's pulling off the look he's sporting. Miz says he's sorry and asks to move on so he can be a role model to his kids. Gargano says he should pay Loomis to be a role model and informs him that he went to WWE officials and says that things will come to an end in 2 weeks at Survivor Series. When Miz comes face to face with Loomis, if Loomis wins, then the Miz has to pay him and he gets his WWE contract. Miz accepts and says that there will be no contract because the next time he sees Loomis, there will be no running and he's going to end this. But then says, why don't you tell him yourself? So behind the Miz is a cameraman who puts his camera down, pulls the head off, pulls the mask off, and it's Dexter Loomis, who tries to go after the Miz. The Miz gets away, but the cardigan stays as he pulls it off the Miz as Miz is leaving. Then, Loomis continues to slowly walk towards the Miz, and that was the end of the segment. The sooner we get this over, the better. You signed Johnny Gargano back to WWE, and this is the best you got for him. Being the whistleblower on this whole thing between Loomis and Miz. I just wonder what would have happened had Tommaso Ciampa not gotten injured. Unfortunately for Tommaso Ciampa, he's going to be out for the remainder of the year. He has a labrum injury, I think a hip labrum or something. Speedy recovery to the Blackheart himself because that absolutely sucks. Just whatever plans they had for him on the derail, who knows what would happen later, but we'll have to wait and see. We have a video of Dominic Mysterio and Shelton Benjamin getting into a verbal altercation. Basically, they were asking, for whatever reason, Kathy Kelly was asking Shelton Benjamin what his thoughts on Austin Theory's failed cash-in last week. When Dominic and Damian Priest came up and he talked about, Dominic was like, dude, you've been a failure for a good while here. Shelton Benjamin tries to get in his face, and Damian Priest gets in between them and says, you got a problem with Dom, you got a problem with me. Dominic's behind him being the annoying little brother. He's like, yeah, you had a problem with him. You got a problem with him and shit like that. And it's like, it works. It absolutely works. It's basically what he is right now. He's the annoying little brother of Judgment Day. That works for him. And you have Shelton Benjamin like, yeah, you know what? Fine. I accept your challenge. And he points at Dominic, so we have that match coming up as Shelton Benjamin takes on Dominic. Again, another quick match. Dominic sends Benjamin into the ring post shoulder, then follows up with a DDT, frog splash, 1, 2, 3. That's that. I don't know what else you want to hear about it. Mysterio wins. Dominic wins. He was going to beat him. It's a short match. Moving on. We hear from Austin Theory, and this was fantastic for Austin Theory. Everybody wondered what was going to happen with Austin Theory after the embarrassment that was last week. We all thought, some people thought, oh, this is going to be good for him. Some people thought, oh, this is Triple H starting to bury Austin Theory. That last week was Triple H doing what he needed to do, shedding the version of Austin Theory that Vince McMahon created. Shedding the Austin Theory, like having Austin Theory shed the shell that was Vince McMahon's next chosen one. He asked him about his Phil casting. He says no one understands him. He says the fans had no idea what the full story was and exceeded the expectation of being the next big thing. He says that everyone hates him because they can't relate and says everyone wants to see him fail. He says he didn't fail last week because he feels more alive than ever. He says his contract was an anchor on him, and every time he tried, someone was there to stop him. And at SummerSlam, it was Brock Lesnar. At Clash at the Castle, it was Tyson Fury. He says Roman Reigns is untouchable, so the next best option, so there was no chance in hell he was going to be able to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase and even come close to beating Roman Reigns. So he thought, what is the next best option? And that was Seth Rollins. And he had to beat A-Town down, ready to go, but Bobby Lashley pulled the ref out and then pulled him out and mauled him like a bear on pretty much a bear on a human. Mauled him like a bear on a human, pretty much. And it wouldn't have done that. He would have been two-time United States champion. Dolph Ziggler says that this comes in and says that was the worst cash-in ever. Absolutely no. The worst cash-in ever was Baron Corbin on Jinder Mahal. When Jinder Mahal just got done wrestling a match, Baron Corbin goes to cash in, cashes in, and John Cena's off to the side here, and Baron Corbin is just looking over at Cena, like going back and forth, and then goes to attack Cena, getting rolled up by Jinder Mahal. This last week's match wasn't even close to the worst cash-in. That one was, plain and simple. I would take that one even over Damien Sandow, which was one of the worst cash-ins ever. But he tried to be his buddy, be his buddy, be his bro, help him, give him some advice. But his ego was too big, and he says he's sick of Theory says he's sick of everyone treating him like he's a kid, and tells Ziggler he wants to prove that to tonight. Backside, Damage Control hits to the ring, followed by Dana Brooke. They show this video of Dana Brooke being, how could Nikki Cross throw out the 24/7 championship? All the hard work I did to elevate that title, all my love, blood, sweat, and tear, to make that title mean something. Like, bitch, that title didn't mean shit from the day Mick Foley put it in the ring. That title, you say you elevated that title. That title was impossible to elevate. It was a joke. Nobody took it seriously. It wasn't worth shit. It is great that Triple H finally got rid of it by trying to throw it in the trash. Nikki Cross missed, but still. So that crutch is gone. The 24/7 shit is gone, and Dana Brooke can go back to being irrelevant. So the match lasted, again, 2 minutes. We got the Asai moonsault, which they now call over the moonsault, for the pin and the win. After the match, Mia Yim comes out. She says, I've been thinking about their offer, and says, War Games, you're right. War Games is a fight where everyone has to pick sides, and I've picked mine. Out comes Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and they join her. So Mia Yim is the 4th member of Team Bianca Belair. We head backstage to Akira Tozawa, like I said, and he has won pretty much everything. JBL and Baron Corbin look distraught. Corbin tries to cheat and say, I got all aces. Tries to win, of course. Tozawa says bullshit and says, cheater! And then he says he wants to fight him in the ring, and that's what we get in a bit. Now we have Dolph Ziggler versus Austin Theory. This was going good. I mean, Dolph Ziggler's a great hand. He's always going to be a great hand. The guy can work well in the ring, but his time of doing anything has passed his prime. And Austin Theory had this match won. He hit the A-Town down. And he goes to his pin and he stops himself. And he's just getting heated and heated and heated. So he picks him up, hits him with another A-Town down. And he's just continually getting heated. And he gets on top of him and starts beating the shit out of him from the mountain position until Ziggler rolls out of the ring. He follows him out there, sends him into the ring steps, sends his face off of the announce table a couple times. Ref calls for the bell. Referee stoppage. Dolph Ziggler wins. He tosses him over the timekeeper area. Some chairs. He grabs the announce table chair, the commentator's chairs, and throws them on top of him. He starts beating him up some more. Refs pull him off of Ziggler. He goes back and beats him up again. And after they finally get him away, he's saying he's no kid. He's no kid. He's all day Austin Theory, fooling himself, and got that serious look of, you know what? I'm not that shell that Vince McMahon had me in. I was that, immature kid. That's gone. This is the new Austin Theory. This is the Triple H-led Austin Theory. And anybody who doubted Austin Theory should be sitting back and going, we were wrong. I think everyone was wrong. Now, yes, they could have did it way better. I would have much rather him go to NXT, cash in on Braun Breaker at Halloween Havoc, and be the NXT champion over what they did last week. But this is what we're going to get. Fine by me. Damage Control and Nikki Cross are looking on, and Rhea Ripley walks over and says, "You don't even have to look for anyone because if Miriam is on Bianca's side, then I'm on your side. Let's go to war." So, Damage Control's Kai, Sky, Bailey, Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley are the 5 women on Team Damage Control. Then versus Akira Tozawa, this match was Baron Corbin gets. They actually allowed. First off, can Akira Tozawa stop dressing like a racist stereotype? He's not a ninja. He was never a ninja. Can we stop having him dress like a ninja? Then he goes and they have a match here. Tozawa actually gets a good bit of offense in, but he goes for a splash, a flying shoulder tackle or something. He gets caught. Corbin catches him, flips it into an end of days. 1, 2, 3. He picks up the win. There's that. So Corbin might have lost all of his money tonight, but he beats Akira Tozawa in the ring. Who fucking cares? Back from break, we see Kathy Kelly with Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Miriam, and Bianca Belair. Asked for the reaction of Rhea Ripley and joining Damage Control and Nikki Cross in War Games. Belair tells her to wait and see who they recruited as the 5th member. Says there's no matter who they throw into the match to determine which team gets the advantage because that's happening next week. They'll be prepared and they're going to get the advantage. If Triple H is smart, and I know Triple H is smart, that ain't going to happen. Team Damage Control gets advantage. It's the one thing that makes sense. Finn Balor heads to the ring for the main event of him and Seth Rollins. This match got a lot of time. This match bell rung at like 10:35. They got nearly 25 minutes of this match. This match was great. Of course, it's Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. I do like the fact that as these guys were coming to the ring, they did bring up the fact that in 2016 at SummerSlam, we had that match, that first match between Finn Balor and Seth Rollins, and Finn Balor was earmarked to be the next face of Monday Night Raw, winning the Universal Champion, being the first Universal Champion. But about 3.5 minutes into that match, Seth Rollins hit through an errant buckle bomb with Finn Balor into the barricade, messing his shoulder up, and he had to relinquish the title the next day. Nice going back on that. If Vince McMahon was still in charge, we wouldn't hear that. Also, the fact that I don't think Seth Rollins would be United States Champion. He'd still be here, and the Judgment Day would be on main event. So, after Balor drops Rollins in the corner and sends to the top. AJ Styles trips him, allowing Rollins to deliver the curb stomp. 1, 2, 3, and Seth Rollins picks up the win. The OC did get involved and everything, and it allowed Seth Rollins to pin. After the match, Seth Rollins doesn't get to celebrate as Austin Theory comes out of nowhere, blindsides him with the attack, delivers an 8-count down before sending him outside the ring post in the announce desk. He tosses him into the barricade, then fires off several right hands and throws him back into the ring. Hits an 8-count down for a second time, picks up the U.S. Championship, hits Rollins with it, and stands over him as he holds the championship up as the show goes off the air. What a resurrection for Austin Theory. This guy went from, like, very much laughingstock. He was being laughed at and made fun of all week. And this guy went out there and showed you that little blunder of a booking decision is not going to hold him back. I love the fact that they did what they did. Am I happy with what they did when it comes to the title? The cash-in? No. I would have much rather him lose. If they were going to do that, I'd much rather him lose it to somebody. And then somebody like Johnny Gargano goes to the NXT and wins the NXT Championship again from him or something. But yes, nobody was beating Roman Reigns for the championship, and then a lot of time for him to have his Money in the Bank briefcase. Obviously, they took the briefcase off of him now because they're going to have a Money in the Bank ladder matches on WrestleMania weekend, for WrestleMania this coming year, and they don't want to have him have it. I mean, he could have kept it a little bit longer, but what would have been the point? So him cashing in now is fine. But him going completely ballistic and getting this new seriousness, he didn't even come out with with the cell phone snapping selfies. We didn't see the CGI selfies everywhere. It's a new serious Austin Theory, and I like it. Can't wait to see what happens with Austin Theory. But that was a way for them to go. Monday Night Raw I hate that this thing's 3 hours. I really do. If we could put this down to 2 hours, it would be so much better. Oh, so much better. If I could start this thing at 8 or 9 and go from 8 to 10 or 9 to 11, I would be so much happier. I wouldn't be drained, and it would be so much easier. SmackDown feels so much better because it's a 2-hour show. AEW feels so much better because it's a 2-hour show. Anything that's an hour for a show or 2 hours for a show in a prime time slot is just so much better than this. That's going to be the problem with Monday Night Raw for the foreseeable future. Until they cut this down to 2 hours. And the easiest way to make up for the ad revenue, you got that fucking LED board out there. Sell advertisements for the LED board. It's not that difficult. The NBA does it for all their games. They have LED boards at the timekeepers area. Or the scores table. Just sell advertisements on that big Raw logo that can go on, and that makes up for missing that hour of television that you're gonna cut. But I can't. It's like I'm sitting here and I'm just bored of Raw because it's just too fucking long. The only time I want to be sitting here for 3 hours or so more is on a pay-per-view, and that's it. Like it's not like there's nothing you can do. There is nothing that Triple H can do. He's had his honeymoon phase for Raw, where it felt like it was going faster and it felt like it was a lot more smoother. But you can't keep that up. You just cannot keep that up with the 3-hour product. And we're at the point where it just like Monday Night Raw is feeling more of the same. It feels like it did before. It's not as bad as before Vince McMahon left. I don't think that'll ever possibly happen. But like when it comes to the show dragging, it feels like that. We had a good month or so, and you could have Kevin Owens come out, which Kevin Owens got injured at a house show, so whatever they were going to do with him at War Games is not going to be happening anytime soon. I believe he had a fracture or something, which that absolutely sucks. But I don't know. I just need this to be done. I am absolutely just tired as all hell, and it's just Monday Night Raw just sucks the life out of you. But that is going to be all for your Monday Night Raw review. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Follow me on The France Club, follow me on twitch.tv/The France Club, and follow me on Instagram at The France Club. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday for AEW. Until then, my name is The France, and I'll see you guys later.